Hey everybody, welcome back to Income School. Look, some of you guys hate it when Jim and I talk about YouTube on this channel, like we're somehow, by talking about YouTube, saying that blogging is dead. We love blogging. We have reinvested again in the Creator Studio. We are building blogs like crazy because it's a fantastic business model. But we've found that when we pair it with video and with YouTube specifically, we're able to get such amazing results. So as we talk about your business going into 2021, I highly suggest that you at least consider YouTube. And if that's even a possibility, you're going to want to make sure you watch this video, because in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what it's going to take to succeed on YouTube in 2021. On YouTube, you may have seen some channels that just seem to have like the magic touch and they just take off, and other channels that seem comparable, maybe your own, doesn't seem to get that same lift. So is it that YouTube has picked certain channels to be winners and other channels to be losers? The answer is no. YouTube is actually not at all biased in which channels win and lose. Now, this is not a political topic or a discussion of censorship. That is a whole different thing here. What we're talking about here, though, is two related channels on the same topic. Is YouTube picking one to win and one to lose? The answer is no. YouTube has no bias. They have no horse in the race. And so, if your channel is not taking off the way you think it should, there's only one place you can really look, and that's in the mirror. Man, that's a hard truth. I'm sorry if I just hurt your feelings. I really am. If you're feeling down on yourself because your channel's not going where you want it to, look, I don't want you to feel bad. This isn't a guilt trip, and this isn't about shaming people. We have had some content take off, and we've had other content just flop. But now, let me help you figure out how you're going to be able to succeed in 2021. This is going to be your year. It's time for success. Let's make it happen. The first to consider is how often you should publish. This actually becomes a really important aspect of succeeding on YouTube. And let me tell you why. When you're new to YouTube and you don't have any subscribers yet to be seen, or just a few, you need to have a critical mass of content on your YouTube channel. If you don't have that, then people that come watch one of your videos and then go check out the rest of your channel don't have anything else to look at. Or for instance, they watch one of your videos, and oftentimes YouTube will recommend other videos from your channel for them to watch next. And they'll see those other videos, and if they like what they're seeing, they'll click on the next one, unless you don't have a next one. And so getting people to be converted from a viewer of a single video to an actual subscriber, and a subscriber that's going to come back and watch video after video after video, it requires you to have that critical mass of content. That's why on brand new channels, we recommend that people start making like 3 or 4 videos just in the first week should get published, followed by at least 2 videos a week for a while. Now, what your publishing schedule should look like after that, going forward, once you have a critical mass, once you have a bunch of videos and 1,000 or more subscribers, well, that's going to depend a lot on the topic. It's going to depend on how long your videos are. Some topics, it's going to make a lot of sense to put out videos much more frequently. If you're in a space where it's a little bit more newsy, a little bit more news-oriented, putting out a video every day might make a lot of sense. People want the latest and greatest information. But for most of us, putting out more than a couple videos a week is going to lead to fatigue of our audience, especially because of principle number 2. We'll get to that in just a second. So when it comes to publishing routine, the point here is that in the early days of your channel, publish as frequently as you can. You don't know which videos are going to do really well. You might have an idea of, like, oh, I'm pretty funny. If I do this style of video and make these kind of jokes, I think people are going to love it. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Or, hey, this topic is really interesting. I'm going to go make 40 videos on that subject. And then it turns out that there's not much of an audience for that. And so putting out quite a few videos early on is going to help you get early indicators of what's going to help, the type of content that's going to help you succeed on your channel. The second principle of how to succeed on YouTube is to make the right kind of video. I'm not talking about what your niche is or what your channel is going to be about, the topic or anything like that. I'm talking about making informational videos. Seems kind of odd, right? People go to YouTube for many different reasons. People go to YouTube to be entertained. People go to YouTube to make connections, and people go to YouTube to get information. We have found that of those three, the most profitable is information. It's hard to make much money off of a channel that's pure entertainment unless you just like strike gold, right? That lightning has to strike once, twice, maybe even 3 times for that channel to really take off and get the audience necessary to be able to earn a really good income, especially because an entertainment audience is usually not a super valuable audience for advertisers. And so they'll put ads on your channel, but they're not gonna pay a whole lot for those ads because they know they're gonna get seen by a lot of people, but such a wide array of people that they can't get real targeted. Whereas on most informational channels, the audience is more targeted. The demographics are more targeted. The interests in particular are more targeted. And so they're able to have more targeted ads, which means you get paid more. In addition, we have found that when you have a great informational channel, it's not hard at all to be able to push people to other products, making an affiliate sale, selling your own informational product or your own other physical products. It's just easy to do when people are there to get good information. But when we say make an informational channel, people often get the wrong idea, which leads me to the third point, which is to actually make really good videos. Holy cow, this is a big one. So the way we look at informational content on YouTube, we've broken down into this cool 3-circle target. Okay, there's the 3 circles of the target, and then there's the stuff outside the target. Really, the reason people come to YouTube and watch informational videos is to hit the center of the target. They want your original research. They want your unique thought. They want actionable things they can go do on their channel right now. They want examples. They want you to show them, not just tell them. They want studies. They want the meat. At least that's what they think they want. That's the reason they came, and if they never get it, your informational channel will totally flop and people won't keep coming back. However, people can take that way too far. By focusing on the center of the target, people often miss the other 2 rings that are also part of the target. In that middle circle, we have background information, we have framing of the discussion, right? We have other related information. We have maybe storyline that fits as part of this and just helps illustrate what we're talking about here. Well, if you don't include any of that, the information becomes extremely dry, right? Then we have the outside ring, right? The third ring where you're introducing personality. Notice that in this video, I have not been talking dryly at a camera, while maybe occasionally showing information on the screen. Rather, I've been animated and I've been excited. Why? Because I'm passionate about this topic and because I want you to feel the same way that I feel about this. Transitions. You might take a few seconds here and there throughout your video to have a neat transition from one section to the next. You might not. You might take a little bit of time to talk about the high-level information, again, kind of as background and framing before you dump into or dive deep into those like unique ninja tips that we often like to talk about and share with you on our channel. You want some of that high-level information. The problem here is finding the right balance. If in your video you focus only high level, I kind of feel like I'm doing that a little bit right now. If you only focus high level, right, people don't feel like they got the goods, right? They don't know what action do I take. High level is good. Without the high level, the actionable stuff feels like it's out of left field. And so having this high level target here allows you to be able to find and understand that actionable information that I'm going to start sharing with you now. Let me give you some examples. When you're making an informational video, occasionally, rather than just sitting at a table, wearing a nice button-down shirt, sitting at a nice desk with a nice background, you might occasionally go somewhere interesting or, I don't know, like wear plaid. Why would I wear plaid in a video, you say? Well, because it's my personality. I'm a plaid kind of guy. And so you get to know me a little bit in my video. You can do things like show little interesting tidbits about yourself popping in at the bottom of the screen so people get to know who you are. Occasionally you might go on a random scavenger hunt. You might have to fall through a hole in your friend's deck. You might occasionally do things like eat the world's hottest pepper or suffer office pranks where your partner puts chickens in your office. Why would we do such things in an informational video? And I mean, you could argue that sometimes maybe we have occasionally taken it a little bit too far or spent too much of the video on those topics. But I'll tell you something. I have met a lot of you over the years, and I can't tell you how many times I've heard somebody say, man, the most memorable video, the one that really like brought me on and really like converted me to income school was that time when you went on that scavenger hunt on your motorcycle. That is by far the main video that I have heard people tell me over and over and over again, that was either the first one they saw or it was the one that stuck with them the most and that made them want to be a part of our tribe. If you want to succeed on YouTube, you have to give people a reason to want to come hang out with you. There are a lot of people that spend time on YouTube for information at first, sometimes for pure entertainment, and they don't really care about the engagement. But in today's world, as people do more and more of their existing online and in a virtual space, engaging with YouTubers has become a big part of what people want to get out of a YouTube channel. And so when we provide information and try to do it in a fun way and maybe go a little over the top,
she's just filling in little bits, which makes it easier to approach.
You might feel a little bit like you're out of place. Why? Because we gave you something a little bit different than what you expected, and you weren't able to feel that engagement. The fun overshadowed the information. As you go into 2021 and you want to succeed on YouTube, I encourage you to take this target and I want you to look at the different elements and be proactive about the amount of time that you spend in each one of those 3 circles of the target. You'll notice a couple of things that fall outside the target, and there are probably numerous others that we haven't really put on there. One is filler. There should not be time spent on your channel that doesn't serve a purpose. Many times people just put filler content on there. Now, occasionally having a little video montage with some music playing, that may seem like filler, but if it serves a purpose, if it is demonstrating something, if it's quick and it's just kind of branding the video, then it's not necessarily filler. It's part of building that tribe. But it needs to be deliberate, and it always, every second of every video needs to be something where the person watching the video could look at that and say, this is part of why I'm here. The other one that people do really bad all the time is recapping the title. I put this like half and half. This is like partly in the outside circle, but mostly outside the circle. The reason is that people often waste 10 seconds at the very beginning of their video telling you what you already know. If I said, this video is how to succeed on YouTube in 2021, that would be really boring and it would be unnecessary. Instead, what you should do is have some sort of a hook, something that lets people know what to expect out of the video without directly recapping the title. So to bring it all together, when it comes to making good videos and looking at the 3 circles, this target, what we're trying to do here as we make videos and as you start to get feedback on those videos, some of which will be positive, some of which will be harsh and mean. And as you start to watch your own videos, you're gonna start to identify the areas where maybe you're missing the mark. And then we can start knocking those edges off. Maybe you just stand in front of the camera and you look really nervous and you just share the information and then it's over. And you realize, okay, this whole video was intended to be center of the circle. But if I step back and actually look at it, this was all pretty high level, fairly obvious information. I never got to the center circle. I only stayed in the outer ring. But I didn't even include any personality. I didn't include anything else. I mostly focused on high level information and common knowledge. That might be why your videos aren't taking off. Or maybe you're great on the personality, but again, you're focused too much on common knowledge. We see this all the time. You have to get to the center of the circle. You have to get to unique thought. You have to get to examples. You have to give people actionable information. So as you watch your content over time, work on knocking off those edges. The last thing is identifying the je ne sais quoi. of your channel. Je ne sais quoi literally means I don't know what. When you're creating a new channel and your channel just doesn't quite seem there and it's missing that I don't know what, that's what you have to identify. And that's what I'm hoping that this circle will help you out to identify. Now, I don't want you to think that you have to spend your entire video in the center circle. As I started to really build out this model, we actually sat down with our whole team and we looked at videos across all of our channels, right? And we sat down and we watched these videos and we timed. We had 3 phones out timing and hitting start and stop every time we started focusing on something in a different circle. And we found that we were spending way less time in the center circle than we thought we were, even though we were very deliberate about making that center circle the focus of what our video was about. And that's actually working really well for us. Some videos, you should spend 80% of the time in the center circle, but more often than not, you'll find that it's probably more like half or maybe 40% of your time. That's okay, as long as that's what you're doing on purpose. But if you actually look at the videos you've created and you look at how unique the information you're sharing is, you may find that you're actually not spending any time in the center circle. And if that's what you're doing, it's time to look in the mirror and say, you need to create unique, helpful content and give people what they came for. If you do that, you'll be able to build an audience and you will be able to monetize your audience simply because of the type of content that you're creating, and you'll be able to kill it and succeed in 2021. We'll see you there.